Vegas, my father's the type of guy. I was standing on CNN, standing next to President Bush one time, and I called my dad. I said, Dad, please turn on CNN and watch me standing next to the president. And he said, son, when are you going to get a real job? Was the first thing he said. And I'll tell you, the best advice is sometimes the advice you don't take. And when I got out of jail, my father said to me also that there'd be no way I'd ever be able to be involved in politics in my entire life again. You know, I was a state chairman of College Republicans, I was national director, I was a national leader for the Young Democrats. After this, I'm a commissioner in the village of Deerfield. I'm the youngest commissioner of all time there. I'm involved in the 2nd Democrat Ward organization here in Chicago. So my dad was wrong, and you guys need to realize that sometimes your mom and dad is wrong, sometimes your friends are wrong. It's about the advice that triggers a feeling inside that causes you to make an emotion that lends you to lead other people's lives, and that's the kind of advice that you follow. In your life, it's all about principles in general. When you find your principles, when you find your core values, these are the things that will prevent you from losing contact with your parents, or prevent you from losing contact to that person in your life that was there at the beginning. There are people in the room tonight that I've known from when I was way younger. There are people in the room that know me from when I was in college, and there are people that know from me now. And I tell you right now, I value all of them, and I would not even be here in front of all of you guys today if it wasn't for that. So it's about finding that principle and value that prohibits you from losing touch with those people. One thing that's very important is we can't judge our character as people, as business leaders, as leaders in our church or our home life based on victories alone at all. It's 100% based on our reaction to failures. And that's something that I've learned dramatically through this. I mean, it's not every day that you go to jail, okay? And it's not every day that you spend 120 days in jail. Okay, so when you come out of there and you don't react the positive way, you're never going to go anywhere. And that's why I have the opportunity to work with people like Secretary White's charity and all the great organizations that are happening here in Chicago and across the world, because I know that in the economy right now, a lot of them are reacting to failures. A lot of them are growing, and that's something that we can relate ourselves to. Well, I grew up in a town of 1,200 people, Winnebago, Illinois, outside of Rockford. The likelihood of me sitting in a room in front of you guys tonight is very slim by virtue of where I came from. I think the one thing that gave me confidence, believe it or not, was growing up as a fat kid. My entire life, from a very young age, I was overweight. And seriously, I'm a communication strategist. And it's almost like, you know, they say that people that can't see can hear better, or people that can't hear can see better. I truly found out that growing up overweight, it forces you to develop skills that you wouldn't necessarily have. Mine just happened to be communication, and the biggest part about that is applying it towards something practical. When I was 6 years old, my mom would religiously listen to this Rockford AM radio station. And, you know, she was sitting in there one day, and they had on the radio, what would you like to do in your career if you didn't do what you're already doing? Now I'm 6, my career is watching cartoons. I went and grabbed the portable phone when they first came out, went into the other room, and I called this radio station. And they said, what do you want to do? And my name is Christopher Sam Foltz, but I couldn't necessarily pronounce it, so I said, this is Christopher Dan Foltz. And I said, you know, I want to be president of the United States of America. And I'm 6, and my mom is listening to this in the other room. And all you do is on the radio, you hear in the background her screaming Christopher so loud that they literally had to hang up the phone call. You know, so that coupled with the fact that I was overweight kind of gave me a confidence overdrive to just talk for a living. So here I am. I would say the largest sacrifice is something that we probably all face at some point in our careers, and that's realizing that we don't know everything in what we do. And, you know, for somebody that grew up, you know, regardless if you run a Fortune 500 company or you run a small donut shop on Wells Street, it doesn't matter. You have to make the sacrifice of realizing that you need to surround yourself with people that are smarter than you. People that actually encourage you to learn from them. You know, I have a couple people in my office here tonight, and I can absolutely, without a doubt, tell you that they are much smarter than me at what they do than I do. And once you start realizing that about yourself and making those sacrifices to adjust your ego is when you're going to change the world. That's it.